Hello everyone, welcome to our brand new our brand new series of story time. Well, this one is not really a story, it's more of just an explanation. Now it's probably best to do this playing the game and then doing a voiceover with the recording of the story, but I'll do both at the same time just to see how it goes. Now I'm not sure if I'm gonna put the topic of the story in the title, but the story is gonna be about the reason I cut my hair. Now you're probably thinking that's not very interesting, but it's the reason I did it, and actually cutting it was a big deal for me. Now before I get to the part of why I did it, we have to go back like years and years and years to when I first came to this country. So back when I came to this country in the early mid-ish 2000s, the fashion trend at the time was, baggy everything. You had like the baggiest shorts. I'll be flopping around in the room. Got the baggy shirts with the big hats, all that stuff. And around the time I came was when when people were transitioning out of that phase, like from baggy to skinny. So as soon as I bought like my first group of clothes, people started switching. So I was just there with my baggy shorts and like a baggy shirt, and everybody around me had like slim fit stuff. So when it first happened, I kind of, without knowing it, I started transitioning into wearing that kind of clothes. I would start wearing it less and less often, and I would try to convince my parents to buy me like new clothes, even though I just got these clothes, just because it wasn't skinny. Now when it first happened, I kind of did come to my mind that I was thinking, am I really like changing my clothes just because it's not what's popular right now? Like it's not what's cool. And I kind of just managed to convince myself, like, no, it's not like that at all. Sorry about it. I told myself, this is just what I like, this is just what my taste is. It had nothing to do with like what's popular. And then, of course, trends change, and what's popular started changing as well, which means, well, I had to change my clothes. And this time, I didn't notice when, first it was the kind of shirts people wear. I don't remember what it was, but I remember wanting to buy those kind of shirts. And especially the snapback, it was a hat that they used to wear. And I wanted it so bad. And if you're asking like why I wanted it, I have no idea. I just wanted it. And then it was the shirts as well. And I bought those things, and and the joggers. I wanted to feel cool. But then it came to the shorts. At the time I used to wear a lot of baggy shorts, and I realized that like I didn't feel comfortable in them anymore. I felt like awkward, and I started noticing how much space there are between my legs and like the fabric. I was like, these are things I've never noticed before, but now that everybody wears like skinnier shorts, like when I say skinny, I don't mean booty shorts. I was looking at booty shorts wanting to be on. It was just a little slimmer than what people were wearing at the time. And now when this happened, I couldn't deny it anymore. I realized I just couldn't deny the fact that I had to accept that like I was doing it to be popular. And like if I'm doing this, like I want these things just because other people have it. And like it's what other people consider to be cool. And I was kind of disappointed in myself. I always like saw myself as someone who didn't care about these things, or like didn't care what people think. But I guess there's no escaping it, especially when you're in middle school. So when I went into my high school year, I kind of decided that I have to break out of this habit and I have to let this thing stop controlling me. So I decided all throughout high school I'm just not going to buy it. Of course I'll buy clothes because I'm growing, but I'm just not gonna buy a lot of clothes, not the way I used to, or I'm not gonna buy something new every time like the trend changes. And with that mindset, I kind of just went through high school with the clothes I have. I have like 2 main pants and like 5 main shirts, and I just wore those pretty much every day. And after a while, it started to, that mindset of wanting to get everything that's new or that's in, or that's trendy, like that's mindset started to slowly go away. And it was kind of hard the first couple of times. You know, you always have it in your mind that people will see how I dress, they see me wear like the same clothes, and what would they think, these kind of thoughts. But you just have to kind of be brave about it and like fake it till you make it, act like you don't care. And eventually like you'll realize that people really do not care about things. Like they all have their own insecurities, they all have their own thoughts and their own problems that they don't have time to be, you know, sitting there judging you based on what you're wearing. So I pretty much finished high school with that mindset of not caring about what I wear. And it carried on even up till now, where I still don't really care what of course I try to look nice and presentable, but it doesn't cross my mind the way it used to about, is what I'm wearing cool or popular or something that, you know, something that people are wearing nowadays. So what does this have to do with my hair? Pretty much the same way in my younger days, I wasn't really allowed to grow my hair out. If you're from an African household, you'll understand. And so once I turned 18, the first thing I did was just grow my hair out all the way. Like as much as I can. It's 2 years maybe, like since I became like technically my own independent person. And again, if you were raised in an African household, you know you're never, like your parents always have that kind of control over you. But once I started to grow my hair out, at first it was like, oh great, and I was just happy, you know, and I started having like my little glow up. But recently I started realizing just how much my hair means to me. I cared about the way it looked, the way it's shaped, and if I woke up and I couldn't get it right, it ruined my mood like for the entire day. I became like really insecure. I didn't want to look at myself in the mirror, and just like I looked horrible, and that's how I felt inside. So after a lot of thinking and seeing that my comfort is starting to come not from myself of being who I am basically, but the way my hair is, I was like, I gotta go. It is my biggest confidence booster, but it's also my biggest, started becoming my biggest insecurity. And once I acknowledged that, it was pretty easy to realize what I had to do. Basically. There was a couple of times where I was like, do I really have to do this? Can I just overcome my insecurity another way? But I realized for other people there might be another way. Maybe there's an easier way to do it for you guys, but for me, I kind of have to do things like with the ultimatum, like I have to do this or else. I just basically threaten myself. I don't know how else to describe it. So I went and got my hair cut, and I couldn't even recognize myself for like the first couple of days, but it took some time, like 3 days basically, until I started being okay with it. Now that my biggest distraction slash confidence booster is gone, I'm pushing myself to like build my own confidence and be comfortable with who I am and these kind of things without worrying about what's on top of my head. I'm looking around and kind of searching for things that might be keeping me too comfortable to the point where I don't want to be any better. I hope, as you've seen, I'm not the best storyteller, but I still hope you guys got something from the story at least. Thank you for watching anyways. This is Wing. Bye.